Hi guys, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're not. My name is Cora, and on this channel I'm documenting my financial journey as I work towards living my best life. If that sounds interesting to you, please keep watching. Welcome to 2025. I know it's been a while since I posted, and this year I really am going to stop saying that I'm going to be consistent. I'm not claiming these things. This is what I'm going to do because I need to do better. I needed to sit down and redo some things and figure out what was best for me. Part of my issue, I think, in filming and posting, even though I was saying that I wanted to be accountable on this channel, I also wanted to be helpful and make sure that what I was putting out made sense to whomever was watching it. But sometimes that doesn't always work for me. And that's just part of the personal finance journey. You have to do what works for you. That's the personal part of personal finance. In my case, sometimes it led to decision paralysis. It was like, this isn't good enough, or fear of how it would be seen, or be like, oh, you're doing too much. But again, as I said in my very first video, I may be doing too much, or it may not be the way that you want to do it or the way that you would do it. But I also owe everybody and their mama. So some things are a little bit differently. But anyway, it's a new year. So we are going to do it. I'm going to post it. I'm going to put it up. And hopefully you'll get something out of it. Take what you need, leave what doesn't work. And I will make changes and things and not perfect it, because we aren't striving for perfection. Things won't be perfect, but I'll do what works best for me in the situation. And at the end of the day, I hope this helps you a little bit. So some things that I need to say, just kind of housekeeping things. One, I get paid semi-monthly, which means I get paid twice a month. Some people also call it bi-monthly, and that's okay, but it's not typically what people see. A lot of people budget weekly or bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, weekly, of course, what it is, or maybe even monthly. Semi-monthly is a little bit less common as far as budgeting videos that I've seen. And part of that is also because you're getting paid every 15 or so approximately days. So sometimes you may have 15 or 16 days that may need to be covered versus a more traditional amount. But overall, everything is the same. For me, I get paid on the 1st and the 16th, but other people, you can also get paid on the 5th and the 20th, 10th, or the 25th, something like that. I've seen it all the ways. But anyway, hopefully this will help you. So we're going to get started. I did already go and do the budget, or what I expect the budget to be. And I started by listing out what was in my accounts. Let me zoom in just a little bit. What was in my accounts to start out with, so we get a good starting balances, and I have the amounts here. And then I just have highlighters kind of indicating which account it is so I can keep track of it. Do I need 6 checking accounts? No. But they all started with a very different purpose and have served me better in the way that I have some things set up and direct deposits going. Right now, I'm not going to try to change what's broken just to simplify, because I'm not ready to do that just yet. As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and we'll just keep on moving. So I'm expecting to get $3,050 from my paycheck, and when you add all of that up, it is $6,056.80 that we'll be working with for this pay period. This budget sheet I did just create in Word just for me to help with the things that I have going on, and I changed some things around a bit to make it make more sense. That's out the way. So I tried to go through and highlight what I needed to pay, and then these little dots here are just what was coming out of which check. So adding all the things together, and I changed this section to living instead of like bills and obligations as it was before. Just, this is what I need. Some people, I think Dave Ramsey inspired, though I wouldn't swear he was the first one, your 4 walls, the basic necessities. What do you need? For me, this is largely housing, utilities, insurances, but also in here I included subscriptions and spending, just overall the total amount that I want to put in, and then I'll track it more specifically once I'm spending it. So this total for all of these things was $1,335.50. Subtracting that from our $6,056.80 leaves me with $4,721.30. I put student loans in their own section here because yes, I have over six figures in student loan debt. It would be nice if it was just a nice round 100,000, but we aren't there yet. And we'll talk about that in more detail in another video. I do have that amount in August in a previous video, which I will link somewhere or perhaps in the description. But I do plan to put an updated video for where I was at the top of the year 2025 and where my debt update was. So then on the other side of this sheet here, this section, I just have debt, but this is actually consumer debt. Car note, credit cards, personal loans. These are all the things you have the consumer debt, and this total for this pay period for the minimums and sometimes a little bit more. Like here for credit card 8, that's a little bit more than the minimum, but that includes spending I've done on the card. And sometimes, and another reason why I had to change how I was tracking things as well, because with this card in particular, I have a minimum amount, which is about $138, that is 0% financing, but then additional spending on the card that I do is due. And as long as I pay that balance, I don't owe any interest at all, like a typical credit card, but mixing of the two can be complicated. But if I make an additional payment before the statement comes and see that, then it subtracts and throws off the part of the financing that's 0% and that $138 balance. I don't want to throw it off, so we'll just in large part keep to the statements for this particular card, for credit card 8, and just pay what that interest saving balance is what they call it, and that's the amount that I need to pay in order not to accrue interest. And that's the goal, is not to accrue interest on the credit cards. The rest are the minimums, except here for credit card 19. Once again, I did do some spending, so this is just to pay that back. I am trying as best I can to keep the spending down, but hey, things happen. So this is what it is. 3 personal loans. Personal loan 5, I did not highlight in gray because its payment is not due in this pay period. However, I do need to account for it in the next pay period because the way that my bills fall and the way that I have them currently, I'm just putting the money to the side until the next paycheck. So that total is $1,786.74, leaving me with a remainder of $2,642.56. And then right now, still figuring this part out. The honey pot is a family savings challenge. Trying to be consistent with that. That is $75 a month. And then I have wellness and medical. I do need to save for my medical expenses, or at least the medical deductible. I need to do that because I did have some things I had to pay out of pocket, and I do have an FSA plan, and an FSA is an account that if eligible, you put in pre-tax dollars to pay some medical things, but sometimes I have to pay it first and then wait to get reimbursed, and that can be a thing. So I do want to have kind of a buffer there. So $75 there, leaving me $2567.56. And then my annual expenses, these are things that occur annually to save up for them, and over time, $221 a month. Gym Pelotons, $51 a month. And then vision, I do not have vision insurance, haven't had it the last couple years, but I did go get my eyes checked at the end of last month, and doing all of those things ended up being like $600 and some odd. And I said, you know what, I need to plan for this. So now we're going to be saving monthly for vision, and this is approximately the cost that they told me I could sign up for an aftermarket vision care plan that would help defray some of those costs. So we're going to do that for $293, and then which leaves me with a total of $2274.56 for this pay period. Now, if you're dealing with an every dollar budget, then an every dollar budget, a paycheck budget, a zero-based budget, any of these things, you put $1 for everything else. However, as I mentioned in the beginning, I do know that some other things need to come out of this. For example, the timeshare fees, I believe they finally sent me a bill for that, which is part of my annual expenses, but they didn't send one last year. It's a whole thing. I have to figure that out, but it looks like it's going to be about $400, and a couple other things that are in here. So I'm just going to hold on to it for right now. I'm going to make sure that my minimums are paid, everything is covered that I need to have covered for the moment, and then figure out what we're going to do with this money, because I do need to pay down on my debt, do some savings and put into my sinking funds. I do have some savings and sinkings and things that I want to do. Some of them are listed here, but also other things like I do want to travel. I need to do, I have some things planned for next year that if you break it down into smaller pieces, it will be easier. And that way it's not just sneaking up on me. And then of course, just saving in general, building up my emergency fund, building up just a regular fund, because we have no idea what's going to happen over these next couple of years. And what we do know is that everything is going up. So even with my spending at $400 per check that I wanted to have right now, I don't know if it was bird flu, you know, the cost of eggs and everything else is a mess, but everything is going up. So that may not be a thing. It may not be enough. We need to allow for that. And while I can save up for money so that when things do rise or something does happen, I need to have the money, I'll have it, and it won't be such a shame. So this is what we're doing. Let me zoom back out. We will come back. I will come back and let you guys know, see what happens. But first, I'm going to, like I said, pay the minimum payments for the bills that I had and kind of go from there. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. This is a safe space, but we are nice to each other here. And again, personal finance is just that, personal. If you have questions, feel free to ask them and I will answer in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you are having a great day and continue to have a great day or week. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.